the Rib Fest reduction demonstration. So I'm here trying to let RVs know, listen guys, it's 20% of this point source pollution discharge that's toxic from factories that the EPA measures, is that slaughterhouses account for 20% of that grotesque amount of discharges. And with the manure phosphorus fertilization reduction goals at 20% by 2020, it's not even that robust what Ohio is doing to say by 2020, but like, are we incrementally asking the Ribfest sponsors to promote 20% of their event to just vegetarian things that don't contribute to this manure phosphorus fertilizer? Because if we're not going to ask anything of, we're supposed to be businesses, neighbors, and Arby's is kind of like overtly meat hungry, and all like saying that meat is a masculine food, when really the effects are that saturated fat can induce earlier Alzheimer's, that it's more linked to having a tougher time controlling cholesterol because of saturated fat intake. There is some things.
Should men be eating men meat and women be eating women meat?
No, if you are going to eat meat, you should eat something that died naturally. And even that, you'd have to be worried about the microbes and shit. But and just like, there's some microbes in chicken that are so hard to get out of your kitchen, like you really, and that they give women like a bunch of their
should the
we should stop idling our cars in the fast food drive-thru. That's a certain.
Hey.
A healthy presence, I don't know. Okay, so like, the point being that it's now or never for the environmental policies that we could possibly make. Good evening, officer.
What are we protesting?
You know what, I wanted to do a PSA about the manure runoff and the fats, fat balance. Not really to diss saturated fat, but just get Arby's to do different agricultural things. Am I on the private property of the business?
Yes.
Or
I mean,
the
you're
plaza?
welcome to protest, but
The right of way.
you have to go and do it on the sidewalk.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, you're welcome. They don't want you here, so
Okay.
you're welcome to do what you're gonna do. Just do it on the sidewalk.
Well, wait. Have you heard of the omega-3s? They're heart health.
Fatty acids, yeah.
It's Suicide Prevention Month, and it's a good thing.
What is
to,
action
Fats, that's my website and blog. Act On.
Oh.
It's like Act On Climate from Obama's stuff. But yeah, let's get over to the
Sidewalk. Right. You're welcome to do it on the sidewalk.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely. A lot of brain supportive things, and like what I've said, my family's weird. It's like other things. It's like cops go against that stance.
Now listen, that is presumptive that I
wasn't even going there.
Well,
I wasn't even going. But it is awfully.
I do like donuts.
It's like Dunkin' is the only safe, and Krispy Kreme has a little bit. But that's another thing where.
I'm a Jack Frost fan.
Well, they just switched to no trans fats. I think they're going no trans fats, but you should talk to Dr. Hyman at the Cleveland Clinic. Has all these things. He has lead cleansing info. That's better than what the state health department is plugging right now.
All right, well, you guys have a good night. Stick to the sidewalk.
Okay.
They own this part here.
Oh my
Sidewalk,
God.
you're good to go, all right?
Okay, you got it. We're in the clear, okay. So there you have it. Nothing but holistically simple. I just need to use our bodies and our voices. It's kind of weird that they didn't want to talk to me, like, what's the big deal? Like, the lady at the window was like, just close the window and, like, motioned her head over to the cop, like, talk to the cop right now. And so, like automatically, I wasn't just automatically gonna leave because I want to get within proximity to people. I guess I'll have to do it over here and get my people flyer over here. Did you hear what the officer said? The officer is affected by trans fats. He's been eating Jack Frost. Okay, and Jack Frost
is delicious.
That's seriously, I want you to know. But, like, you're affected. But for seriously, like, I'm not saying anything I wouldn't say to the public.
Leave Jack Frost alone.
I'm not talking crap about you, officer. We're civil health benefactors. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Please. No, like, I talked to this company. This company is one of Cleveland's beloved donut companies. And the server, you're getting this, right? You're getting this. Okay, the server, she didn't know what they were using. And this was news to her that trans fats had this unclassifiable status. This classified as most certainly classified unsafe. Like, there's nothing unclassified about it. It's been non-gras based on the science for as long as the science has started trickling in from Dr. Cremero. So here we have a perfect example. This is like a systematic thing. Like, Speedway. Check out our Speedway over there. Speedway in Columbus. How is it food justice that Speedway has Dunkin' everywhere? And that if you're at a Krispy Kreme station and you want a donut, you get a Krispy Kreme. But if you're at a fucking Speedway that has Marianne's and you get hankering for a donut, you're dosed with mega trans fats that flipping induce endothelial dysfunction, arteriosclerosis, Alzheimer's,
And whatever from the growing process.
and turn on 3 big inflammation markers in the body, one of which is C-reactive protein. I don't remember the other 2, but it is a known, it has nowhere to go in the body. It only irritates our body having to deal with it. You don't even want to think about what this is doing to your cell membranes. You think it's in your arterial plaque and there's in your arteries as plaque and there's like room for it there. It's not. There is not. If you've been eating enough of it, it will kill you. I'll be like, officer, I'm amazed you're still standing. Like a fan, which makes people, I hope that if Ivanka Trump sees this and wants to enhance security, talk about an impairments hazard lecture with the FOP. I mean, I will look at it as like, this is the one thing I think about like that. One thing for sure. Otherwise, it's like, lead. Is it off? Oh, okay.
No, it's still going.
Okay, good. Lead, organophosphate pesticides, trans fats, probably another neurotoxin in there. Dirty diesel particulates for sure. But as far as neurological impairments, it's the mercury and the lead and the organophosphates. So I would say like right there you're up to 5 things right away that could either stabilize and at least not get any worse. Like, you told the cops,
Hey, so maybe
don't flipping contribute to the illness that this creates in you.
is mercury
Because-
magnetic?
And then they could balance their fluoride with iodine and declog their arteries with like 12 ancient herbs and fruits.